So NZCER is a national organisation, it's a statutory body with a mandate to do research. What's the really unique contribution you think that NZCER can offer?
Well, first of all, being a statutory body really matters. The Act, NZCER Act, gives us our mandate to undertake research and development in New Zealand, and the government grant that we get on an annual basis has enabled us to build deep expertise in areas of educational importance in New Zealand, and our ongoing investments in products and services has meant that we've been able to make a contribution to supporting learning across all age groups, again in New Zealand. I'm saying in New Zealand, but we're also, one of our strategic priorities is to expand our reach into the Pacific and internationally, something that we're doing most successfully in our publications.
So in what ways would the New Zealand education scene be different, do you think, if NZCER wasn't there? What gap would there be?
Well, I think the unique contribution NZCER plays and will play into the future is that it's an organisation. It's a group of experts with a clear mandate, and this has enabled us to undertake large-scale research and development projects, which are actually more commonly in demand in recent years. I'm thinking in this case of surveys of our work in positive behaviour for learning, which is a really diverse set of projects, evaluation, surveys, and also our NZCER-based tests, which we provide now, hard copy, scanning and marking and reporting service, and increasingly an online presence. So the fact that we are an organisation that has invested in building this kind of expertise and committed to making a difference to education in New Zealand, I think is one of the unique contributions that New Zealand NZCER can make, and there would be a gap without the organisation. And the other thing that I think as an organisation we do very effectively is we act as a hub. We bring together people to think about issues of importance in the day, and I'm thinking of researchers, policymakers, practitioners, interested public, to learn together and to think about how we can do better in the world we're in now, but also think together and shape the future we want for education in New Zealand. And again, I think NZCER is very well placed to be a coordinator and a leader in this space.
You're moving on after 14 years. What are your hopes for NZCER into the future? I
hope NZCER continues to be a dynamic organisation, one that is doing really well in the present, serving the needs of the education sector and the wider community in the world we're in now, and at the same time having its eye constantly on the kind of future that we want in New Zealand education, and so contributing ideas into that, but also encouraging and leading debate and providing a forum for that kind of discussion to take place. I think the other thing is rather dear to my heart, as having been the leader of this organisation for this length of time, is that my hope too would be that it would continue to attract the kind of people who have come to work at NZCER, people with deep expertise, a passion for their work, and a real commitment to the purpose of education and NZCER, which is to make a difference to learning and to give more people a chance to learn through their lives.
Under your leadership, there's been a big emphasis on professional learning for staff, professional learning and development. What's your personal approach to how an organisation can best do this?
Well, I think it begins with some really important framing. So the most important framing in the beginning is having a really clear sense of what the organisation is about, mission, clear values that are agreed to, and a settled purpose. this is very helpful in being really clear. This is the work of the organisation, and that's the work of somebody else. What you might call being really clear about your knitting. Moving from there, of course, it means that the work program is shaped then by the mission and the values and the purpose of the organisation, and so are the job descriptions, what people actually do. So this kind of clear line of sight from what people are doing to what the organisation is about, I think is absolutely critical to doing really quality work in the world we live in. So having that set up, I see the role of the leader is to provide enabling conditions for people then to do the work individually and collectively. And by enabling conditions, I mean things that make their day-to-day life easy at work or not difficult, and also the opportunity to stretch into areas that perhaps the organisation and the people themselves didn't anticipate that they could do. I think that keeps an organisation dynamic, and it keeps the kind of work that's done leading edge and for the future, not for the past. At the same time, the leader's role is to be clear there are boundaries. The boundaries aren't something that people knock up against, because I think that's distracting. But the boundaries are set by the purpose, by the values, by the way that people have agreed to work together. And it's the leader's role to make sure that when people aren't so aligned with those agreements, that people are helped to see this is the way the organisation works. There is an NZCER way. I think it very matters in if we're going to do the kind of hard work and the hard thinking that this organisation is known for.